Hello friends and welcome back to another video. This video will be my ranking for the season 8 episodes. I've done a series about that, so you can watch the previous video of this series and see me ranking the other season's episodes. And yeah, let's get started. Season 8 is my favorite season of Ninjago, so don't be confused if you see me say awesome and that I love all the episodes in this video because I really love all the episodes for season 8. Anyway, let's get started. At 10th place, we have episode 75, The Mask of Deception, and the season premiere. This is probably the only episode from the season that it's not awesome, because the episode felt a little slow at the beginning with seeing the ninja doing these random quests in around Ninjago City and all of that. It felt a little slow. But then the episode started to be better with seeing all the ninja reunited again and seeing the royal family Hutchins and all of that. The episode became better with time. But overall, the episode at the beginning felt a little slow. It's not an awesome episode or anything like that. At 9th place, we have episode 79, Dead Man Squall. This episode is just a very cool episode. It has one of my favorite fight scenes from the series, which is Zane vs. Mr. E. This fight scene is just phenomenal and done very well. It was just very fast and very cool. Also, we saw the real Samurai X identity in this episode, and we saw a lot of things. Also, this episode has a lot of fight scenes and all of that, and I like it. It's just like a better version of episode 70, The Attack. But overall, the episode is just very cool. It's full of great fight scenes, and the reveal for Samurai X was done very well. At the 8th place, we have episode 78, Snake Jaguar. This episode is just an awesome episode, and I love it so much. We saw Zane and Cole were the main character for this episode, especially Zane. Cole was just in the jail for the majority of this episode, but we saw a lot of him. Like we saw him singing in this episode, and also this episode we saw the baby for the first time in this season, and he was a funny character. Also, I really like Zane's role in this episode. It was just like a better version of episode 17, Ninja Ball Run, because I really didn't like that episode, but this one is just very awesome with the race and all of that, and I really love this episode, especially in the ending with the cliffhanger of Mr. E being a ninjoid. This season is famous to have a lot of cliffhangers, and yeah, overall this episode was just awesome. Focus on two of my favorite characters very well, and I like the race idea and all of that. At 7th place, we have episode 76, The Jade Princess. This episode we saw more of Harumi and all of that. Also we saw more of Lloyd and the royal family. Also, I really like that scene where the ninja were training and fighting each other. I really want to see more of these fight scenes between the ninja because I really love them. I don't know, I just like them so much. They are just minor fight scenes and they're not that important, but just love them so much. Nothing too big in this episode happened. Especially have Cole's flashback. This scene, which is for me the best out of the three ninja flashbacks in seasons 8 and 9. This flashback was just done very well, and it's one of the best scenes from season 8. Also, we saw with the royal family and Hutchins being deceased in this episode. So more ultraviolet and more. Actually, I said nothing too much happened in this episode, but actually a lot of things happened. And this episode was just very awesome one. At 6th place, we have episode 80, The Quiet One. In this episode, we knew that Harumi is the Quiet One, which is still my second favorite plot twist on all of Ninjago. It was just very shocking and unexpected, and Harumi's reveal as the Quiet One is just very awesome scene. I really didn't expect Harumi to be the Quiet One, and I think most of people are just like me because it's really shocking and unexpected. Also, I really liked Harumi and Lloyd's journey to get the last mask. It was a very awesome one. And overall, we saw a lot of things in this episode. And it was a very fun episode to see and I love it so much. At fifth place, we have episode 81, Game of Masks. Season 8 is famous to have very awesome fight scenes, and there are also awesome normal scenes, like the one in this episode. It's both one of the best fight scenes and if you combine fight scenes and if you combine awesome fight scenes and great scenes, you will get this scene because this scene was awesome at both of these things. It has a great fight scene between Lloyd and Hirumi, and awesome scene with Lloyd's camera that Hirumi is the quiet one trying to accept that and all. This scene was just done perfectly. It was an awesome one. Also in this episode we saw Lloyd being captured by the Sons of Garment in the end. Also we saw overall this episode was just so fun to watch. Also you had that fight scene with the crab, which is probably the only big creatures fight scene that I like in this series. It was just so funny to see. Overall, the episode was just very awesome and it was pretty fun to see. Also, it was kinda the sequel for the previous one because the previous one ended with a cliffhanger, and that one for me was just a very awesome episode, like season 8 is. At fourth place, we have episode 983, True Potential. In this episode, we saw, in the previous episode, which is Dread on Arrival, we saw in the cliffhanger of Garmadon being released. It wasn't that shocking because we knew it from the sets. We got Garmadon being figure in the sets. But this episode it was really Garmadon's debut since season 4 or season 5. It depends how you look at it. But for me, it's season 4 because season 5 he just had cameo. But his last big role was in season 4. So it was awesome to see him back in season 8. And yeah. You saw in season 8 he was just like that, like a zombie or something like that. And he was commanded by Hirumi and all that. So I actually liked him a little. I mean, it's not his best version ever, but I liked him being like a zombie and that monster that destroy without feelings and all that. I really liked him, and he was better in season 9 for sure. But his fight scene with Lloyd, I know that I said for a lot of scenes and fight scenes that they are some of the best in this series, but this one is really one of the best because it's both like the scene from episode 81. It was both an awesome fight scene and an awesome scene, full with action, dramatic feelings, and all of that. You saw how Lloyd was just fighting his dad and all of that. It was just very emotional, and this is really one of the best fight scenes from one of the best scenes from the entire series. So it's probably the biggest reason why this episode is just very high on my list. Also, you got so a lot of awesome things in this episode. This is why I just liked so much. At third place, we have episode 77, The Oni and the Dragon. This episode is just one of the most memorable episodes in all of the series, in my opinion. I will always remember this episode, even if Ninjago had 20 seasons. This episode is still one of the uniquest and best out of all the Ninjago episodes because it was just so funny episode. And what makes this episode awesome and phenomenal, in my opinion, are Zayn and Cole, like all the season. I mean, Zayn and Cole were just very funny and awesome this episode, especially the scene where Cole accidentally drank the Tea of Truth and he was revealing some secrets about him. This scene was hilarious and I laughed so hard on it. Also, we got like when Zayn and Cole went to the nightclub. We saw Cole singing and all that was just very funny. Some of the most hilarious scenes in Ninjago. Also, we saw the real backstory for the 16 realms and for all the main LTU, as I like to call it, the Lego TV show universe, or the main one at least. So we saw the real story for it with the Oni and Dragon creating the first realm, then the first Ninjutsu Master born, and he created Ninjago and all of that. It was just this. This story was just done perfectly, and I love how they introduced to us. I wish that they introduced by way of another character, not mistake, because I mean, how can you trust this character? It was introduced in the same episode. But still an awesome scene, and I really like Mistaki in season 8. I didn't like her that much in season 9, but she was awesome in season 8. And overall, this episode for me is just perfect, and everything I needed was just so funny and so awesome. It was both a funny, serious, and episode. Also, in the ending, we got another awesome fight scene with the ninja chasing Mr. E and all of that. It was just a fight scene. It was just very fast and very exciting to see, and I love this fight scene so much. Overall, for me, this episode is just perfect. It was done very, very well. At second place, we have episode 82, Dread on Arrival. This episode is just full of things. We saw Lloyd being captured by the Sons of Garmadon. We saw Misako for the first time in this season. We saw Harumi trying to bring back Garmadon and the spell. We saw a lot of things. Also, we saw Kai's little maker in this episode. A lot of people didn't like it because it only appeared this season in this episode without any reason. It never came back. But for me, it was a nice make for what it was for that scene. Also, we saw more of the ninja. I mean, probably my only problem with this episode is how long Harumi to bring back Garmadon scene was. It was just very long scene, but I love it enough. But what really make this episode very high on my list is just it does a lot of things that doesn't make you feel boring at even 1 second. No, not even 1 second is boring from this episode. There's always something new and something very awesome happening in this episode. This was just so awesome. Also, it's a fast episode. Nothing felt slow at all in this episode. Also, the cliffhanger at the end was just phenomenal, and overall the episode was just perfect and doesn't make you feel bored at all. Just phenomenal episode. And at first place we have episode 84, Big Trouble Little Ninjago, and the season finale. This is not only my favorite season finale, this is not only my favorite episode from season 8, but it's also my favorite episode from the entire series. It's just a phenomenal episode, just very memorable and very awesome. But it was more a serious episode. But what needs just make it a phenomenal episode. You saw Lloyd being losing his power, which started an awesome arc with him in season 9. You saw that little fight between Garmadon, Nia, and Misako, which was a very fun one to watch. We saw in the end the best scene from the entire series, in my opinion. And yeah, I say this is the best scene from all of Ninjago, in my opinion, which is the cliffhanger in the end of this episode. It was just done perfectly, and I love this scene so much. I remember myself watching it for the first time when season 8 came with the first, and I was just super excited for the next season. I couldn't wait at all to see what happened after that. It was just an awesome scene. Like all the episode was, I just love this episode to death, and every time I watch it, I just like it more and more. Also, we saw more of Lloyd and Harumi, and all. This episode is just phenomenal. I love it so much. And yeah, that's it for today's video. This is my ranking for season 8 episodes. Probably 8 of these episodes are just awesome episodes. 2 of them are just okay episodes, but actually this season just a phenomenal one. It's always it's for me pretty much a perfect season. I just love everything about it. There's nothing bad about it at all. I just love this season so much. It's my favorite season of Ninjago. And yeah, that's it for this video. Give me your opinion about the video, and which episodes from season 8 are your favorites and which one are your least favorite. Give me a like, subscribe, share it with your friends, and yeah, see you next time.